Time. Boy, I'm a talker. I'm sorry. Okay, we were talking a lot about social media. You know that, like this one, 1 in 5 couples met online, but 1 in 5 divorces are blamed on Facebook. That was funny. Our companies, anybody in here using Facebook for business purposes? We post stuff on Facebook, but that's actually how I got my job. We really, LinkedIn, Twitter, we're huge on that. Reba is. I tweet something out and I put a Reba on there, and they absolutely, retweet it the minute I do. So I'm kind of old-fashioned. I sit. Usually I'm sitting out in the audience, and I feel rude because my head's down and I'm tweeting and I'm taking pictures, and I didn't do it today, but I usually tell people, like, hey, I'm going to be in the audience. I promise I'm paying attention, but I am going to tweet while I'm doing it if you don't mind. And it's just this younger generation doesn't think about it; they just do it. It's nothing for them to have their heads down. They're listening. My 14-year-old son, I go in his room and the music's blasting. He's texting. He's got his girlfriend there. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, doing homework. They're used to a lot of information, doing a lot of multitasking, and we can all do it. I'm sure you've all multitasked, but it's part of their DNA. They do it from birth. My iPad here that I'm filming this on is technically it's mine, Dawn. I know you bought it for me, but it's my daughter's iPad. My 8-year-old daughter knows how to work it better than I do. What happens in Vegas? What's the saying say? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Also stays on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. You want the brands in this room are tremendous. You don't want bad things about your brand out there, whether it's from an employee or an unsatisfied person. Who in here has a chief listening officer? That's a position that didn't exist 4 years ago. I've heard so many stories from companies, that someone will have a complaint and they'll get a response back that same day from somebody that addressing it. That's important. It shows that every brand makes a mistake. How you address it is what you are. It really is, and it gets out there. It's going to be out there for eternity. So you guys with kids, it's out there. Tell them don't put it out there. That was good. I did blow through a lot of these last slides because I once again I am a stickler for time, and I've run over a little bit. So, does anybody have any questions? I know I went through a lot of data and I talk really fast, and I'm Italian. I talk with my hands and I move around. But does anybody have any questions or any input they want to put in there? We've got a few minutes. We can sure, absolutely.
Oh, I'm well enough.
Okay.
Holly from Chase. So, when you talk about talent acquisition and you talk about interviewing, and this is probably just a poll for the room. So many, we talked about the skills that are necessary to hire good talent, the soft people skills, the knowledge of supply chain management. But having a background in sourcing, if you know how to buy something, that skill is transferable into just about anything. You don't necessarily have to be a subject matter expert in IT or a subject matter expert in manufacturing widgets. But I noticed that when you're trying to hire talent and the pool is very small, some of the job descriptions that are out there today are very narrow and very focused. And do you feel that your organizations are maybe losing out on some talent because they're so focused on that experience with shoe manufacturing, that experience with retail?
I'll take a shot
Sure.
at the answer. So I'll tell you the jobs that we have posted today are both very generic in flavor, right? So they're not, hey, you have to have claims experience or you have to have IT. We've geared to more generalist. And I do completely agree that the proper skill sets are transferable. And I would rather have the best person versus the best, commodity or whatever they did. So that's my approach.
Thank you. That was Brad Higgins from Motorist.
I think at Patel, we are more special. I'm sorry. Hi, this is Michelle, I'm from Battelle.
Thank you.
I think that we're a little bit more specialized, so when we do have a position or we are bringing in contingent labor, you know, I need somebody who's specifically focused on IT. So, you know, I think it really depends. I think on some of the positions that we have available, we can transfer the skill set. But when we're bringing in somebody specifically for a contract need, no, we are realizing that we may only get 5 candidates that are submitting because we need the Microsoft deal executed in 30 days, right? Because we just found out it's expiring, or whatever the case may be. So I really do feel like we've had to be a lot more narrow in our scope when we had the budget.
Melinda from Scott's.
Thank you.
And I would say, for us, yes, we want people with procurement skills, and we don't try to be too specific in our requirements, but I have learned, because I have hired a lot of people in the last year, that for us, it's important to have somebody with indirect procurement experience versus just direct procurement experience. In my opinion, indirect requires a certain special skill set because we don't own the budgets and we have to do so much influencing and persuading. And I had some people on my team that had been only on direct, and they came over into indirect, and they weren't really successful because they tended to try to beat up suppliers. They tended to try to you know, just kind of run roughshod over the business partners and say, you know, you're going to use this supplier because they're the cheapest, and that was like a formula for disaster. So I just found that if you hire somebody with indirect experience, they're used to the challenges of being persuasive. But it is interesting because one of my most successful managers, he did have indirect experience. He came from the financial services sector, and now he's buying, you know, capital equipment, MRO, uniforms. So he's doing something completely different, absolutely loves it, and he's tremendously effective. So, but he had that indirect background, so he knows how to partner with the business.
Anybody else? Still a few minutes for questions. No? Okay, well, let's do this. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back at 3 o'clock. We're going to have some fun. We're going to reconfigure the room. We're going to break the room into 3 different groups. So it's going to take us maybe 5-10 minutes to move some of these tables, but there's going to be 3 different topics, and you're going to get a chance to talk about each topic with one of the industry experts that's in the room from Ariba. The choices are going to be how to evaluate supplier risk management, millennials in the workforce, and managing your direct materials. So give us a few minutes to reset up the room, and we will get you in different groups, 3 different groups. You're going to get to talk about each topic, so don't stress about which group you end up in again. All right? Thank you very much.